I am with Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group, a James Beard Award nominee. The group includes Bluejacket, where we are. It's been a while. The Arsenal restaurant downstairs. Greg, it is always good to see you.
Good to see you too.
What is on tap this week?
So this week we have a Bluejacket beer, fittingly. It's called Travlr's 12K, and it's actually one of a series of 3 different beers that we started brewing and planning back in February of this year. So it's pretty cool. I wanted to showcase this because now that we've been open nearly a year here at Bluejacket, we're starting to release some of our barrel-aged beers. So this is one of those. It's a 6% kind of funky Saison farmhouse ale, mildly tart, that's been aged in Larkin Cabernet Franc red wine barrels from Napa Valley for the past 5 months or so. We just released this last week, so it's pretty cool, pretty new.
All right. Good thing you got the barrels before the earthquake.
Yeah.
Lovely color. Boy, that's nice. Just, you know, if you don't like too tart, if you don't like too sour, it's
mildly tart. Yeah. So the cool thing with this beer is that it all started with a good friend of ours. His name is Gene Bonventre. He is a huge beer geek in the D.C. area. He's been big on rate beer for many years now, and he came to us in January of last year because he was getting close to rating his 10,000th beer. And so we decided to brew a beer with Gene and with our friends Terry Hawbaker and Kristen Mullen from Intangible Ales in Pennsylvania, kind of a 3-way collaboration to brew the beer that would one day become Gene's 10,000th rating. The funny thing was that he was at like 9,999 in January. So for the past, like, I guess, 8 months or so, he's been dutifully writing his ratings on the side, but he hasn't posted any of them yet because he was waiting to make this, the base beer, which is called Gene Turns 10K, his 10,000th beer. So we just released that one. The cool thing, though, is along the way, we took some of the base beer and put it into Chardonnay barrels, and then these Cabernet Franc barrels. And so you have the Gene Turns 10K base, Travlr, which is his rate beer handle, Travlr's 11K, which is Chardonnay, and then this, which is Travlr's 12K, the Cabernet Franc. And yeah, I think it worked out fantastic. The Cabernet Franc is there in the nose. You get that, like, and it's different than like French Cabernet Franc. This is Napa Valley. Sean Larkin's a friend of mine. He blends and produces this beautiful Cab Franc. It's much more fruit forward, so you get like plum and blackberry, lots of floral notes and peppery spice in the nose as well.
And you definitely get the wine hint, but
not overwhelming.
Nowhere near overwhelming.
And that's the big thing about barrel aging, is that it's all about the blending. So when this came out of barrel by itself, it was good, but it was a little bit too tannic from the barrel, a little bit too overwhelmed by the wine, and we wanted it to be a beer with an essence of wine character and oak character. So we then blended that beer with some of the base beer again to tone down some of the wine notes and make it an element of the beer rather than something that's overwhelming it.
I hope you made Gene sing 10,000 bottles of beer on the wall before.
Yeah, it took all night.
10,000.
I can't imagine what it is now.
My dedication would be called into. I don't know that I could make it.
He also just started with rate beer in 2008 or 9, I think, too. So he's been, I mean, it's been 5 or 6 years now, but he's been dutifully doing it. And Gene's one of the best guys. He does all this for the right reasons. You know, his rating is just a way to kind of keep track of his travels. And
yeah,
I mean,
cool.
you know, he buys bottles of beer to share and hosts tastings at his home. I mean, he's a great beer guy, for sure.
What would you pair this with?
I guess it's probably the Cabernet Franc influence, and the mild acidity that you mentioned. One of the problems that we find with some like Italian and Mediterranean cuisine is that beer can be difficult for it because of its bitterness. The acid we find in Italian and Mediterranean cuisine fights with bitterness. So with this, that Cab Franc character in the nose, that kind of plum and blackberry fruit, the peppery spice, and the acidity on the palate of the beer itself, I think lends itself well to red sauce Italian food. So anything basic like lasagna, spaghetti meatballs, pizza, basil, Mott's pizza is great. But then also Greek cuisine, anything that has that tangy feta, olive, so, you know, just a fresh Greek salad, souvlaki, gyros, you name it.
We are getting close to Snallygaster.
Yes.
Very close, which has consumed your
Frighteningly
life for
close.
weeks.
Yeah.
Now the bar here at Bluejacket is right behind me. out this way, which you obviously can't see, I can see the Anacostia is very close. The Snallygaster this year is down closer.
Yeah, it is. It's just about 2 blocks towards the stadium from Bluejacket in the HI parking lot over there. And it's going to be bigger than it's ever been. You know, we've been saying 250 forever. I just did a kind of a close to final count. Things are always changing. We're at like 260 for beers that we're going to have outside. Even better beers than ever. And yeah, it's gonna be a great time.
Now this is Saturday the 30th. Are tickets still available?
Yes, they are. So okay. The event is on the 13th, so it's literally 2 weeks away. We have a VIP portion that's sold out. That's from 11:30 until 1 p.m. But the regular tickets available through pre-sales Hydra are available from, and that's for 1 to 6 p.m. So there's still plenty of those tickets. And if you want to wait till the last minute, you can always show up day of and get in as well.
It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it, and I will put the website. I'll try to remember to put the website down here because I think I promised a couple weeks ago and forgot. All sorts of fun little technical issues with Beer of the Week the past couple of weeks, but that's life. Greg, thank you as always.
Thank you.
Everyone, please always do drink responsibly and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another Beer of the Week.